This is a video that I'm going to put on Facebook. So I'm going to relate something I related earlier. And in the very early days, going back to the 50s, one of my first jobs, Walton Court here, where it stands, was waste ground, and opposite the big office building there was a company that galvanised steel pipes, so a company in Basford. And I drove this lorry, I can't remember what lorry it was, and it had been a very cold winter and there had been heavy snow which melted and then froze again, so there was a lot of frozen slush, and an empty lorry and cars as well used to bump over the, if you were in the gutter kind of thing, you know, if you moved in either a car or a lorry, it was bump, bump, bump. And I parked the truck outside there on Station Road, waiting to reverse in to put the pipes on for the company at Basford. And the bloke shouted, "Come on, driver!" So, of course, I hadn't been driving long, and I put it in reverse and started going back. And I looked in front and I saw bits of a broken ladder. I thought, that's strange. And I carried on going back and I saw more bits of broken ladder and a bucket as flat as a pancake. The window cleaner had parked his barrow behind my truck. I flattened the fucking lot. And the blokes in the yard, of course I knew the window cleaner, Ernie, and the blokes in the yard, he was a well-known figure. The blokes in the yard said, "Ernie's not going to be very happy." I says, I'd better go and tell him. And he was up the crescent here, up Walton Crescent, talking to somebody. And I went up, I says, well, he said to me, "Hello, Arthur, how you going on driving that big lorry?" I says, "I've got a bit of bad news for you, Ernie." "Oh yeah, what's that, mate?" I said, "I've just backed over your barrow." "What?" I said, "I'm afraid I've just backed over your barrow." "Oh my God!" And he ran down the crescent, his coat flying at him, and he stood there looking at the wreckage of what was his barrow with his his ladders and buckets. And he says, "You put me out of business." I says, "I'm sorry, Ernie." He says, "Sorry?" He was fuming. And I didn't get the sack, but the boss had to pay for a new barrow for him because he weren't insured, and his ladders and buckets. And after that he was not so friendly towards me. And then I was driving the old trolley buses here in Nottingham. A lot of you youngsters won't, you young people in Carlton and Netherfield won't remember the old trolley buses, big double deck things. And I had an Indian conductor, Mahil, and on the late night runs he used to start fighting if people didn't pay the fare. In the old LSD it was only sixpence from Carlton into the city and back, and drunks wouldn't pay. He'd say, "You fucking pay!" And he started arguing. I used to get the emergency bell, ding 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 ding. I thought, oh my God, again, stop the bus, put the parking brake on, because they were electric, you know, the poles on the wires. And I went round the back of his swinging his ticket machine round his head. "You pay the fare!" I said, "Look," I said to him time and again, because these inspectors get on, I said, "Look, don't start arguments and fights over a sixpenny fare. If they must," I said, "if they don't pay, tell the inspector, and let the inspector go and tell them to pay. Stop getting into arguments with them." And when we had the break on the late night runs, start about 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the evening rush hour, and right through till midnight. And in the break we used to go in the pub, and I used to drink in them days, and I was always pissed up. Coming down Carlton Hill on a very late night run, about 10:30 at night, I'd had rather too much to drink. Of course in these days I'd have been known for drink driving, but I'm going back to the 50s, and I came hurtling down Carlton Hill with this trolley bus, and I got the bell for Garden Avenue, and I brakes on, and by the time I stopped, it was at Chesterfield Street. The people who wanted Garden Avenue didn't get off, and eventually the bus ground to a halt. The passengers got off, and this bloke comes staggering up. He looked at me, he says, "You're bloody crazy, man! You're crazy!" I said, yeah, I am. I shouldn't have been driving. And then, of course, in the depot, driver down, report to Mr. Bunce's office, and he took me off driving and put me conducting, collecting the fares. But they were short of drivers, so he had to put me back driving again. Then another night, going around Canning Circus, mounted the pavement, everybody had to get out of the way, all the women with the prams. I was pissed up again. Crazy. Early days. So I'm going to put I could say a lot more. I'm working from memory, of course. I've got excellent long-term memory. I can remember what I did in the 50s. But what did I do this time last week? I ain't got a bloody clue. Okay, this is for Facebook. Cheers.